From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 29th, 2016. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reaffirmed the strong ties between Israel and the United States, regardless of not seeing eye to eye on some issues. Speaking at an Israeli Air Force base today, the Prime Minister said, "I am grateful to the American people, to Congress, and to the American government for defense aid to Israel, including the 2 F-35s we received." He said the alliance between our countries is strong, even when there are disagreements between us. Yesterday, Netanyahu had responded to the speech made by U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, in which Kerry defended the non-veto of the U.S. at the UN Security Council last week. Netanyahu had called Kerry's speech skewed, saying it put most of its emphasis on Israel's settlement building and not on the Palestinians' unwillingness to recognize Israel. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas reacted to Kerry's address, saying that he would sit down with Israel under certain conditions. Speaking for Abbas, PLO Executive Committee Secretary General Saeb Erekat is cited as telling PA news agency Wafa that the minute the Israeli government agrees to cease all settlement activities, including in and around occupied East Jerusalem, and agrees to implement the signed agreements on the basis of mutual reciprocity, the Palestinian leadership stands ready to resume permanent status negotiations on the basis of international law under a specified time frame. Meanwhile, PA Foreign Minister Riyad al-Maliki rejected some of the principles that Kerry set forth, including that which calls for mutual recognition. Maliki is cited as saying it is not possible for us to work with the selective proposal to recognize a Jewish state, as it is also not feasible for us to deal with the proposal pertaining to Israel's security arrangements and needs that come at the expense of Palestinian land and people. And Jewish organizations here in the U.S. weighed in on Kerry's remarks as well. B'nai B'rith International called Kerry's address misguided. They said Kerry unfairly suggested, by focusing heavily on them, that settlements are the primary obstacle to peace. They said Kerry failed to acknowledge past Israeli withdrawals from the settlements or extensive offers of withdrawals, and said Kerry employed a straw man assertion that regular criticism of Israel is often maligned as anti-Semitic. As he knows well, the extraordinary demonization of and discrimination against Israel in international forums is real, destructive, and morally indefensible. The Anti-Defamation League said they were deeply disappointed by elements of the speech, which they said they could not separate from the recent abstention at the UN, saying that both push prospects for a two-state solution farther away. CEO of the American Jewish Committee, David Harris, said that while he appreciated Kerry's good faith efforts and steadfast commitment to Israel, there was concern that his remarks made direct talks more elusive. Harris said as long as the Palestinian leadership believes it can internationalize the conflict, it will have little incentive to return to the table, from which it's been AWOL for years, and engage in the tough, direct bargaining that is the essence of any such negotiation. The Union for Reform Judaism's president, Rick Jacobs, expressed support for a good deal of Kerry's speech and said that, like Kerry, the URJ were concerned over settlement expansion. But, he said, it does not follow that the United Nations Security Council is the right place to have that discussion. Meanwhile, last night, Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes addressed Kerry's remarks regarding further resolutions critical of Israel at the UN. Rhodes was asked by CNN's Jake Tapper about Kerry indicating in his speech yesterday that the U.S. would veto any future resolution at the UN which might dictate a peace solution to Israel or recognize a Palestinian state, to which Rhodes replied, yes, the UN would veto such resolutions. Well, as is tradition every Hanukkah, the World Bible Contest was held in Jerusalem last night. The winners in the adult category were Yafit Sliman from Israel and Yair Sachak, a Yeshiva University graduate from Brooklyn. One of the main goals of the international competition is to bring Jews together from Israel and the diaspora. And aside from Israel and the U.S., the 27 finalists came from Australia, Argentina, the UK, and South Africa, among other countries. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, December the 29th. At 7, it's Talmud Study with Rabbi Mordechai Becker. At 7:30, Rabbi Herb Cohen hosts a new edition of Kosher Movies. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Grammy Award-winning composer, arranger, conductor, and singer Rob Mathis about his musical journey on L'chaim. And at 10:30, it's a celebration of Hanukkah. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, AJC CEO David Harris discusses the vote at the Security Council last Friday with Mark Golub on tonight's In the News at 6:30. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 29th, 2016. I will be back with the news update on Tuesday after the holiday weekend. I'm Teisha Bader wishing you a happy and healthy 2017, a happy Hanukkah, and an early Shabbat Shalom.